Hello everyone and welcome to the Richmond Raceway for the running of the Goody's Fast Relief 400 at Richmond. We're ready to see some great action here on the short track. The first short track race of the season, as a matter of fact, for the Cup Series. We're here at the Richmond Raceway. Sure to be an exciting event, but on pole, of course, the king of Richmond Raceway, Jefferson, three-time winner at the track. TSR, I believe, has 4 wins here only, with Eli Bright's win a few years ago in the 28 truck. But Jefferson, in this 48, the Lowe's for Pros number 48, is looking to put himself into victory lane. Meanwhile, on his outside, the last time Carson Bowers went to victory lane 2 years ago at Richmond in the Truck Series. These two could be the big threats for this race win today, but they have the pace as they started on the front row. Give a shout out, though. Joseph Strigley, a couple weeks ago, a reporter from the NSDCA made a list of drivers that they thought that would not or should not have a ride in the Cup Series. Well, apparently Joseph Strigley took that list to heart, because a top 5 finish, second place as a matter of fact, at Road America last time out in the Cup Series, and he follows it up with a third place starting position at Richmond. I think he's making his name for himself here and showing that JSR will not back down from a fight and from fighting the big dogs. Could today be his first win? He's going to have to beat some very strong drivers to do it, but I think he has the pace inside that number 63. Cody Goforth in fourth has come up close multiple times this season to a first win. Starting fourth today, still looking for that first NSDCA victory. And Larry Hagan, a strong short track racer, rolls off in fifth. Gatlin Downey DNQ'd at Road America. He rolls off in the 6th position in the number 69. He is below the top 30 in owners points, just like teammate Max Anderson. Both of those drivers qualified their way into the show. They're going to have to try to drive very well today to get themselves inside the top 30. Tim Foster, Roger Ray, give a shout out to Ray, also another driver below the top 30 in the cutoff. This is really his first time starting in the top 10 this season, first time being competitive. Hopefully at the short track we'll see Roger Ray do pretty well. And you got Max Anderson, as we said before, and Stephen Wallace Jr., your South Boston 2-time winner in the Truck Series. He's won, he won a Mountain Dew Custom Series South Boston race and 1 Truck Series race in South Boston. He won that race earlier this season in the Truck Series. He rolls off in the 10th spot. Keep going down the list. Got a lot of drivers ready to go racing here. You got Brady Burkhart, Mountain Dew scheme, back on that 99. The iconic colors for the number 99 return. Mountain Dew Pitch Black picking up some sponsorship this season. And give a shout out to Peter Onjak, doing a bit of a different scheme for some of the night races here. A black and yellow number 44 Menards car with Goof Off as the primary sponsor there, teaming up with Menards. Continuing further back, Felix Yanson making his debut this season in the Cup Series, only his second ever start, his last one coming at the fall Richmond race last season. He rolls off this car in 26th, with Ginsters coming back on to sponsor that number 61. A great short track driver, and Dusty Neal starts 27th. Alex Banyaka with a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup 83 that's sure to be a hit in the diecast market. He rolls off in the 28th position. Eli Bright struggling this season. He's 29th, has not had a top 30 finish at all this year. Riley Spurley-Tube starting near the back. Evan Hunter making his first Cup start of the season for Anjado. And the rest of the field, Matthew Eves, Lotus Disparito driving a special scheme for the Heseberg system, number 81. All proceeds from this race weekend that they win in this event from Luke Evans Incorporated will go to support the Ukraine war effort there against Russia. And William Duncan rolling off 40th. That 33 car, he is hoping that he can just finish this race pretty strong, hoping to gain some points today for Saya. We're getting ready to go racing here at Richmond. It's going to be a long race ahead of us, 105 laps. Let's go ahead down trackside for the commands to fire the engines at the Goody's Fast Relief 400 at Richmond.
Drivers, start your engines!
Pepsi and the NSDCA have teamed up this season to bring you the Pepsi Pull Award for the fastest qualifier in all 26 Sundrop Cup Series races this season. This week, it's the King of Richmond, Jefferson, getting another pull at the track that he's won 3 races at in his career and is also the defending Richmond winner from the spring race. He's looking to put himself into victory lane for the first time this season, hoping that it doesn't go awry for him. Let's see if JJ can get back on top here at Richmond. We're ready to go racing here at Richmond. It's going to be a 105 lap race. The NSDCA decided to extend the fall race So they'd shorten the spring race by a little bit to keep, one, the same amount of laps roughly between the two, and two, make a bit of a difference between them. So here we are at Richmond for the Goodies Fast Relief 400. Jefferson, the king of Richmond, looking to win this race. Bowers second, Strigley, Goforth, Hagan, Downey, Ray, Foster, Max Anderson, and Stephen Wallace Jr., your top 10. Richmond's been a tricky race in the past. We've seen cars go airborne bouncing off the turn 1 walls. We've seen major accidents in turn number 4. We'll see if this race will be any different. Two drivers who have won Richmond before, some of the best to ever do it at Richmond, with two drivers who have never won an NSDCA race before, and Strigley and Goforth behind them. 105 laps ahead of us. Jefferson versus Bowers. Green flags in the air. We're racing at Richmond. Bowers went up the track a little bit, but he's going to carry that momentum coming down the back straightaway, holding up Strigley a little bit, who backs that inside lineup just a bit as we come around to complete lap 1, and it's hopefully going to stay green. It will, as Jefferson leads us down. Bowers clears out into second. Now you got Goforth versus Strigley fighting for that third position. Hagan back in 5th. Ray up to 6th. Foster 7th. Downey back to 8th. Max Anderson 9th. Kukulon in 10th. This could be a big day for Joseph Strigley, coming off of his first 2 ever top 5 finishes at Road America. He got his first top 5 of the weekend at the Mountain Dew Custom Series race for Evernham. Second top 5, a second place runner-up finish at Road America in the Cup race, just losing out to Matty Porta. Today he's right now 4th. I mean, it's 2 laps in, and he started 3rd as Hagan getting real aggressive with him, almost into the side of the 63 as they move on by. Now Foster's going to pick that spot up. We'll see if Strigley can hang on up front. Max Anderson, Kukulon kind of holding up the rest of that pack. And one thing to note, we're a few laps into this event, and you should notice it by now. You see these front guys, they're all single file, basically running the same line. That's because Richmond is really a one-groove racetrack. If you move to the outside, you can defend a position. That's not a be-all, end-all if you're on the outside. You can defend a position if there's not a train coming underneath you. The inside line is the key. That's where you're going to see the passes. You'd have to be very aggressive as we got a car spinning. It's Eli Bright. Some smoke on the back stretch. He's in the grass on the front stretch, so heartbreaking for the driver. That number 8, he has not had a top 30 finish yet in the Cup Series this season, and this one was rough, though. Butcher has some right side damage, too. Downey also has some damage, but it looks like it must have been Bright spinning down the back straightaway. No caution for it as we stay green. But as we were saying, single groove racetrack, you can make a move on the outside to defend. You can also out-brake and carry yourself way fast into the turns on the outside, possibly make a move. But the inside's where you're going to see most of the passing, and mostly, as you see, we're going to do a quick flyby here of the field. The top group is real single file spread out. Now, Bright did spin about mid-pack, but you see on the way back here a lot more battling and a lot more 2x2 racing. Track position is super key to win this race because you see the top 3's already pulled away from those guys. They're not worried about it. They're worried about running their race. See Foster cleared into 4th. He's already pulling away. Being side by side slows you down significantly racing around this track. So you want to be out in front, you want to pull away, and if you can get out and run on your own single file and just tick laps off, you can win this race by being out in front. But the other thing is, if this race goes green by a significant portion and the field starts spreading out, it's going to be much harder to catch up and pass as this race progresses. Looking at Zachary DeLello, who's already picked up a good amount of positions so far in that 57 car. He's up to the 6th position. It was heartbreak last week at Road America, dominating the end of that race. Really outdrove himself into the carousel, ended up putting it through the sand and lost that race. He came home to finish top 10, but what could have been for a win? The NSDCA community really poured some help out to that 57 driver. You know, DeLello, it's been years since he's last been to victory lane. His last win coming in the Crown Royal 300 2 years ago in the 57 truck. He wants to get back to victory lane. Could this be the day? Who knows? He's 6th. Didn't really have pace in practice or qualifying, but he's up here in 6th right now. He's just trying to hang on, take a good race here today. Jay Jefferson pulling out in front. Bowers second, go for third. Foster fourth. Morris fifth. Then DeLello, Strigley, Kukalon eighth. Anderson Reed ninth. And 10th is the 60 of Colton Lane. Max Anderson fighting Larry Hagan. Gatlin Downey back there. Ray has some right side damage. So it looks like it's been some aggressive racing back here. Good few cars with some damage. The 85 has some rear end damage. Hard to tell, but you can see a bit of the curve in that scheme. You got some rear end damage there as Burkhart moves past on Jack. So it's been aggressive. Felix Yanson all over the back of Aiden Smith. Actually got into the back of him there. So some of the other guys just trying to run up here for some experience, getting some aggressive racing, and we're 3 wide back there as Bright's really pushing on William Duncan. But as we said, that inside line is key. You see Bright just able to send it in there. He's going to try to pick back up, but if he was, since I think he was the one spinning around back there, his tire's probably shot. Goforth is made second, Bowers third, Foster fourth, Morris fifth. Battle for seventh now as Strigley's going to get passed by Kukalon. Kukalon's been an unstoppable force this season, and Jay Jefferson has been close multiple times to denying him. Las Vegas was Jay Jefferson's race. Pit call and a spin cost Jefferson track position. That's really the only reason he did not win. Vegas and Kukalon did. Jefferson was on another league in that race. Jay had a chance to stop him in the Sundrop 500. Of course, that iconic finish heading into turn 3 with probably the 2 championship favorites for this year side by side, and he lost it. So Jay right now, he's back at the track that's done him so well. He won this race last year, the Spring Richmond race. He knows how to get it done, and he's outrunning Cody Goforth right now after 16 laps as we head on to lap number 17 here at the Goody's Fast Relief 400. Jay Jefferson out in front at Richmond, dominating this race just like he usually does at Richmond. We're going to go ahead, take a quick commercial break, bring you guys back to the action here at the Goody's Fast Relief 400 right after this. Back live here at Richmond is battle for second, third, fourth heating up. Foster was just underneath Goforth coming out of turn number 1. Wasn't able to get there as Bowers jumped to the inside. Now Morris in the 55 taking a look to the inside of Bowers. The battle for fourth right there. Carson Bowers looking to take the points lead away from Kukalon if he can sneak Kukalon back through this field. But Sebi right now in that 8th position. Bowers fighting inside the top 5. He's 27 points back. You earn a lot more points finishing up front than you do in the back. So that could be big for him. We saw on that replay, viewing it over the commercial break, DJ Curtis actually got into the back of Friesen with a little bit of damage. Doesn't look like that 5 is too hurt right now as Dusty Neal was really trying to make a move. Curtis throws the block there. Thought it was going to be 3 wide for a second as Downey goes wide in the 69. That's where all the right side damage came from as everyone was still trying to recover from the Carter Friesen incident. One thing to point out about Richmond, it's a short track, so you know what that means. Lap traffic. There you see the 01 entering turn number 3. Now Jay Jefferson enters turn number 3. So we're seeing maybe 10 laps or so away from Jefferson lapping Alex Peters. He's only a half a second slower. We say only. He was only 0.3 of a second slower. You don't want to be slower than the race leader. You want to be the fastest guy on track every lap. But right now, he's not losing too much time to Jefferson. Jefferson's not losing any time at all to the guys behind him. In fact, Morris, now working his way past the Anjado guys, has held them up from catching up to Goforth. And one thing we want to point out here, give a shout out to BGM. Their full-time teams are doing spectacularly this season. Irving Allison, 21st in points. Morris, 20th in points. That's not really showing of where they've ran this year. Irving and Morris both have average qualifying inside the top 15. Morris inside the top 10. They're in that 55. They've just had some bad luck at the end of these races that cost them positions. Cody Goforth as well has had multiple chances at winning a race this year. He's 9th in points. And that 17 car, he's looking today. He's up in second, pacing good. But the bigger thing for them is... out of all of them, Irving Allison is the furthest one back. He's 19th, so still a top 20 run. But that's better to say than their Toyota counterpart. Brady Burkhart sits right now 22nd. Austin Murray, 29th. Aiden Smith, a Monster Motorsports driver, or SBR driver, 30th. Alex Benyako, 31st. Boss is 32nd. Jacob Edson, 33rd. So Toyota not having a great day so far. There is Kukalon is the only one for SBR inside the top 20 at this current moment. You see Strigley trying to hang on to a top 10. That car slowly starting to fade as this race progresses. As you go green flag racing really shows the stronger drivers from the weaker ones. We usually don't see much green flag racing in the Cup Series or in the trucks. Usually you don't see spread out racing like this often in the Cup and Truck Series. It's really a rare sight. When you can get enough time to really spread out the field. And that's when you see the fast drivers, see the Autos monsters start to charge their way through the field. The BGMs, the TSRs, all work their way and get up into the top 10. As a matter of fact, as soon as, if Strigley gets passed by Foster or Hagen, or Porter or Hagen, the top group is pretty much all the big teams. Foster, not CFRO, TSR, BGM, Auto, Monster, all inside this top 10 if any of those guys get by him. But as you saw there, Jefferson now catching the back of the field. That's Lotus Disparito and Alex Peters. Lotus, anything's better than the Kentucky race weekend where Mike Cook DNQ'd for LEI, but right now Disparito might lose her lead lap position there in that 81 as Jefferson's going to look to the inside of her, trying to get by. And we know how Jefferson is with lappers, so I think, especially at Richmond, you just want to get to that outside, let him go by, don't defend for it. Alex Peters running Jay a little bit low there. But Jay's going to now put 2 lap cars in between him and the BGM duo of Goforth and Morris. And that's just adding to Jefferson's race lead. Now again, remember, in the Cup Series and Truck Series, you have the Fago Free Pass that gives the free pass to the first driver 1 lap down. That right now sits Alex Peters if he does indeed stay in that position and no one else gets lapped by the end of this one, by the next caution. But you got Duncan, Ryan Butcher, Vince Freeze, Eli Bright right ahead of that. And TSR is really another team that's divided, kind of like SBR. SBR has some strong drivers. You got Kukulon points leader, Alex Banyako 8th. You got Edson 15th, Burkhart 18th. As they go down, Murray 23rd. Those guys aren't really chase contenders right now, and especially not as they're running in this event. But you got TSR too. Jay Jefferson 10th, Larry Hagan 14th, and then Eli Bright, Ryan Butcher outside of the top 30. You also have that with BGM, really. You have Cody Goforth 9th and Morris and Irving Allison 20th, 21st. Those two have ran a bit better than they've finished this season. And so has Jay. So has some of these TSR guys. Same with Auto. They're kind of a difference too. Carson Bowers 2nd, Tim Foster 4th, Peter Onjak 12th, and Roger Ray outside the top 30. And that's not to say that that's because of the teams. That's because they're expanding from last season. The 48, 21, 28 were full-time last year. The 40, 25, 44 were full-time last year. The 84, 88, 8 are brand new. We've said this multiple times this year. They're working on developing those cars. They're just not up to stuff yet, and you can see it right now with Butcher being right now 37th. He does have damage, though. So does Eli Bright. He also got in the grass. So Eli and who was the other one we were talking about? The 84, Roger Ray, who is really dropping back in that 84 car. He's back to the now 18th position in that 84 after starting up front. He also has some side damage there. And Evan Hunter, another Auto car that's full-time. That's brand new too. So is the 24. So it's normal to see some of these guys near the back as this race goes on. Got a good battle up here. There's Austin Johnson. Heartbreaking for Johnson. He went off early at Road America. Could not repair the car from a damage in the carousel. He's right now 25th for GDI. Meanwhile, SWJ, who started 10th, has fallen to 20th. That's another thing to say. The outside line is pretty bad. The outside line, most of the guys that started on the outside line are not up front anymore. Bowers started this race 2nd. He's back to 5th, so he's still just trying to fight. Now you got Kukulon working on the monster duo of Zachary DeLello and a little further up the road being Colton Lane as they go. That is a slick number 19 interstate battery scheme, though. Very nice to see a good scheme in that 19 camp, but he's had pretty good schemes all season long. Freightliner, number 12, a bit further back. It's not Freightliner, but if you saw that last week, that was an early concept for the 19 car. That went over to the 12 when Rockstar Energy Racing went on and got them as a sponsor as well, but a good nationwide insurance scheme. RER has a lot of new sponsors this year. Nationwide hasn't been in the sport since, I don't think, Justin Knight back in season number 1. He's in that number 12 car. Of course, that's Max Anderson. Burkhart freezing, fighting further back. And what you're seeing here, you're 42 laps in. You see Jefferson. He's picking up over some lap traffic, and it's really going to hold him up. And that's going to be the bigger key. Who can work through lap traffic better? Now you see Goforth catching up to Disparito and Alex Peters. Short tracks are usually the only tracks you see lap traffic on pace alone. The bigger the track, the less likely you'll have lap traffic. So short tracks really offer a different set of skills, not just to get around and make these moves, but short tracks are usually harder to pass. That's why you see a lot more physical racing at short tracks. This could be big to see. You need to be able to work through slower cars best as well. And you see Eli Bright actually kind of went a little wide there. Turn 1 might have been trying to get Jay to jump to the inside, but he's right now full with Aiden Smith. And as these cars go down a lap, now you're worrying about pit stops are coming up. 55 is the fuel window. That is the magic number. 45 as they cross right there. Yeah, 45 right there is not the magic number. The magic number to make it to the end of this race would be lap 50 and on. So that's probably when you'll start seeing drivers coming into pit, but you can run until about lap 55 on this one fuel tank. You see Strigley now trying to get back around Larry Hagan for that top 10 position there in that 10th spot. Logan Cloud running very well in that 91. He's up in the 12th spot or 13th spot for that 91 team. Colton Lane's going to use Alex Peters as a pick with Tib Foster. That's battle for the 5th spot. Kukulon's cleared Zachary DeLello back there as Tib tried to make a move to the inside of the L1. He is not happy with lappers this season. And now they're holding him up from a spot 3 wide down the front straightaway. The question is, will Colton Lane try to dive it in? No, he's going to tuck back in. He knows it's early. He does not want to end up turning the 40 because he knows there will be many drivers in the garage, many drivers and fans that will not be happy with him. But Foster made a real aggressive move there. He's not happy with lap traffic, especially after the the Sundrop 500. Keep saying the Crown Royal 300 for some reason. But Tib, he's working his way through. He's staying up front. Top 5 runs so far after his win at Willow Springs earlier this year. As Morris and Goforth starting to go at it for that 2nd position amongst the lappers. There's William Duncan. Not a good short track racer. Really heartbreaking to see Ditech struggling so much this season. They got the SBR 87 from last year, and that was worked on a bit. So Duncan isn't in horrible equipment, but he's just not that good on ovals. Not to take anything out from him, but his strengths lie in the road courses. That's where he runs the best, and in his rookie season so far for Ditech, it's really struggling in that 33 car, though. There is a possibility with drivers like Jacob Edson possibly retiring at the end of the season. Of course, that is a long-running joke in the NSDCA about Jacob Edson and his definitely real retirements that he doesn't come back from every time. 2 times now that's happened for Edson. But this could be his final year in the NSDCA, especially if you're seeing how he's running right now. 15th in points is nothing to laugh at, but we've seen a lot of strong drivers taken out in these races, and you see Morris give him a little bit of a shove up the track. Edson right now 36th at a track that he could have won at last year. Nothing's going right for that 82 team this year, but that could open up a spot at SBR. And why not go with William Duncan in the 33 car, especially because SBR doesn't have too many drivers in their pipeline that I really think would be ready for the Cup Series. Kukulon, though, ready for the Cup Series. He's up to that 6th position as Foster's dropped a couple spots. There's DeLello, Reed, Hagan. Now Hagan pulling away as those guys fight further back. Pulling up close to pit stops. Not gonna hit a commercial break just yet. We'll do that probably after the pit cycle goes on through. As you see, Jefferson's just putting cars a lap down. Now Alex Benyako, he's going to fight for it, though, in that 83. Fighting to the outside, trying to keep that spot. But I don't think SBR really has a short track program right now, doing pretty bad. Spurleytube also doing not too hot today. He did get in that early incident with Eli Bright, I believe. He got kind of smacked by Eli Bright as Eli came back on track, but TSR not running too hot today. Jefferson and Hagan both inside the top 10. And then you got Spurleytube, Bright, and Butcher all outside really of the top 30s. Jefferson's going to come down pit road, so we're going to keep the camera right here as Morris is going to take that race lead. Going to keep the camera right here so we can watch as everyone comes down. Nothing really to watch under pit road. You're taking 4 tires and fuel. That's usually the run on a full green flag run. You're taking 4 tires and fuel. There's no reason to do a strategy call. But we'll see how they do indeed come out of pit road. See Benyako coming in, Bright's coming in. Goforth's in, Morris staying out, so Morris is going to try a big overcut there, and so is Kukulon, so is Zachary DeLello. So those guys taking an overcut, and there you see Curtis on Jack Irving. Allison also staying out. Richmond, a dangerous pit road. You could kind of come in, come out near the same entrances, but that's short track racing for you. Spurley Tube Eve's still staying out. Now Morris comes in. I think Bowers is back out. He might have came in before Jefferson. But we're just making sure. Pit road, also a pretty dangerous place. Got to make sure you don't end up hitting each other on pit road. It's a very tight pit road here at Richmond. And short tracks always come with the same issues. It's a tight race. You end up with lap traffic. Pitting on and off is very challenging. And really, it can be crash fests. But we've seen some pretty good racing so far. 57, 105 complete, as everyone has indeed come down pit road. And there is Jefferson long gone. If I don't know, Foster might have had a poor pit stop or something went wrong on that 40 car. He might have had an issue on pit road because he's now at the tail end of it. I was going to say either he's second or he's not, but I think that's the not there. As you see, Morris is now clear into second. His Goforth's going to come back, coming around right there. Alex Fletcher, nice job getting back off pit road there, bud. But Morris will take that second position for himself. Tib Foster, all I can think is probably some contact on pit road getting into and out of your box, and you got to fix that while you're there. Butcher's team does not. But pit road is challenging here at Richmond. It's very thin. There you see Eves. He's going to go a lap down. That is your Kentucky race winner for Jay Jefferson. He's going to tuck in right behind Jay as they run. So pit stops are complete here at Richmond. We'll get the running order all set in just a minute. We'll go through the running order when we come back from this commercial break. Jay Jefferson, your race leader by 4 seconds now over Cody Goforth and Brandon Morris. Bowers and Lane, the rest of your top 5. The Goody's Fast Relief 400 will come right back to you right after this. Welcome back to the Richmond Raceway. 62 laps coming to completion right here. Everyone's taking their pit stop. Everyone pitted after lap 50, so they should be good to go until the end of this race, barring no overtime. Jay Jefferson out in front after those pit stops, taking off. And really, this is his race to lose at this point. He's out to almost 5 seconds ahead. So many lap cars going down to below him as he's right now working on 23rd place Gatlin Downey, trying to put him a lap down. Jay is just on another level here at Richmond. This is the same car he ran last year and took to a victory. And that 48 team is proving that they can win Richmond. They are the kings of this racetrack. And I don't think I've seen any domination like this before. You have drivers that have won at the same track multiple times. Diego Yepes at Michigan, Jacob Edson at Vegas. But this could be Jay's 4th career win at Richmond. And that is something to say of consistency at a single track. He's working on 2 SBR drivers right now. Austin Murray, Brady Burkhart trying not to go a lap down. Brady 22nd for that Mountain Dew debut this season as Jay's going to work right to the inside of him. So now you're seeing the Fago free pass sits with Brady Burkhart. The rest of the field laps down. Remember though, Jay gets a little close there, slides up trying to get around Murray. Good thing Brady wasn't there. Those two might have been in the wall. But remember, lap traffic goes to the rear at this track. The only track that it does not go to at this current moment is South Boston, due to that track really having no room for too wide racing as is. You wouldn't be able to get these guys around set up that quickly at that track. But Richmond's big enough. It's about, I think it's just over 3/4 of a mile. I think it's like 0.8 of a mile or something. Or close to 1 mile. But Jay out in front here at Richmond. We'll go ahead, go through the field, looking at the rest of them. There is Cody Goforth. Right now pacing around in second. A great day for Cody. It could be another runner-up finish, could be another just the top 5, just not good enough to win a race, but a caution comes out, could change everything. He has the pace to contend with these guys up front, just not going to be enough time to catch Jefferson with how easily he's moving through lap traffic. Cody, though, enjoying it, looking to continue his charge up the field. 9th in points entering this, could be heading a bit further up. 3 top 5s in the first 5 races for that number 17 team. Brandon Morris sits 3rd in the 55, your California winner. Won at Auto Club earlier this season, running very well. BGM has a very strong operation, if you don't count Irving Allison, who's kind of struggling. Morris is 20th in points. It's been disappointing since Auto Club. The road courses did not go his way, but he was fairly competitive at Vegas, ran near the front at Daytona, looking to continue this season. Very strong, running in that third position. One thing to point out, Foster is a lap down, but they dropped the jack under pit road. It was a lengthy pit road process trying to jack the side of that car back up as he battle for second. Now Morris is going to take that spot away. Matty Porta down pit road, a flat tire on Porta. He was running inside the top 15, and that's going to put him laps down. But yeah, Foster had a lengthy pit road, not because of an incident, but because of a problem on his pit stop. Carson Bowers sits in fourth. He's not going to win this race. I don't think he has the pace to get up there and win it, but he has the speed. He has the potential to go back to the chase this season after missing it last year, possibly take a shot at the championship. If you remember, he is one of the quietest champions in the NSDCA. Mountain Dew Custom Series Season number 2 was his first championship in the MDCS. Beat Sebastian Kukulon in a crazy Atlanta finish, and really, I don't remember much that he did that year. He won 2 races, was pretty dominant that year, but really is kind of a forgotten year in the NSDCA lore, really. And then in his truck championship, he won 0 races on the season until Richmond Fall, the chase about event 15, when he knew he had to step up and start running and winning to win a championship. He only won 1 race on his bid for the title through 2 years ago. Colton Lane sits this car in 5th. The Starbucks colors on for the first time this season in that 60. He's 3rd in points entering this, chasing down Carson Bowers and Sebastian Kukulon. Been a great day for Colton Lane as they run. I thought I saw a yellow flag. No, I did not. Colton Lane, 5th right here. He won Road America last year, winless so far this year, but has been competitive, has been up front in pretty much every race this season, looking to continue and get himself another top 5. Carson Bowers, I want to point out one thing. He's the only driver to have a top 10 in every event this season. But Colton Lane and Sebastian Kukulon and Alex Benyako are the only drivers to have 4 top 10s on the year. 6th position as we work on through, that is Anderson Reed. Has not loved Richmond. He hates this track. He was in a big crash before. I'm pretty sure he got flipped upside down in one of those crashes before with that outside wall in turn number 1. He hates this track. He hates short tracks. Doesn't have a win on a track lower than a mile, as I believe I-69 last year was a mile long in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, but running very strong today for the Dick's Sporting Goods Monster Motorsports number 3. Enjoying his time out here, running very, very well. And Kukulon, coming off of a bad week at Road America, and showing that he has the speed if he doesn't have an incident. Up in that 7th position, he has not had race-winning speed. I don't think he even has top 5 speed for this event. He's pretty far back. I mean, he's about 3 seconds behind Colton Lane with a bunch of lap traffic. So I don't think he's getting a top 5 today, but he could get his 5th top 10 in 6 races for that 19 team and continue his championship bid. Larry Hagan in that 8th spot. He moved his way through pretty early on in this one, was fighting just outside the top 10 before pit stops, got himself into 8th. He's a short track guy, but his only wins are on road courses. Road America in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, Pensacola in the Cup Series. Right now, running in this 8th position is strong for him. He's fighting for a chase berth, sitting in the 14th position in points. Could easily pick up spots on DeLello, on Jack, and Strigley in the point standings as they run. He sits in that 8th spot. Back in 9th, Dusty Neal, who's charged his way through the field as you see DeLello fighting for that 10th position. One car in the wall. It's Sebastian Kukulon in the 19. And that is big. Alex Benyako's the other one. Please, guys, keep it off the wall. I don't care if you spin after, just don't hit the pit wall. TJ Curtis is going to pile in. Yepes as well. Clouds in it as they all come rushing back. And that is a big hit for DJ Curtis. I think everyone else is calmed down. That's a problem in Richmond. Jefferson was in the grass getting through that. I don't know if he spun out. He doesn't look like he has damage. Yepes has some severe damage. And that's going to change everything here at Richmond. That's also been a problem here at Richmond, is that pit is coming off the inside in that pit wall. Curtis ran so fast. Thankfully, you have the barrels there. Thankfully, there are barrels on that pit wall, so it softens the blow. But a heavy hit for Curtis, and I think that hit Diego Yepes as well. But You can make it to the end without pitting, and Morris is going to stay out. And it looks like everyone else on the lead lap is coming in. And that is going to be big. The 55 trying to stay out. Everyone else is going to come down pit road. Zachary DeLello and Dusty Neal also going to stay out. Peter Onjak, I think, is on the lead lap. He's going to stay out. So this is going to shake it up. And now Jefferson, who's pretty much going 4 tires and fuel, because I'll check under the commercial to see if anyone's going for 4 tires and fuel. Yeah, it's going to be 4 tires for everyone. So Jefferson's going to lead him out. Kukulon is out of this race. That's big in the points hunt. Goforth. Rest of them are all laps down. So we're going to go ahead, take a quick commercial break, get you the replay, and fix this field back up. Morris stays out to to lead this race, and a couple guys, Austin Johnson's going to pick up the wave around. We'll go ahead, get a quick replay, see what happened to bring out this caution. First incident of the day, Sebastian Kukulon, Alex Benyako underneath Aiden Smith going to get together. Kukulon goes head first into the wall and whips right back up into Benyako. You're going to see right here how vicious of a turn that is. Gets real hit hard and it just goes 180 on him real quick. Saves it, bounces off the wall, but Hagen cannot slow down, runs right into the back of the 83 car. This other incident, though, trying to avoid it, Curtis runs straight into the tire barriers, or the pit wall, I should say. And you see Yepes back up into traffic. Multiple cars involved. First caution of the day in Richmond.
The bacon double stack is back in the biggie bag.
All these come pre.
The bacon double stack is back in the biggie bag for just $5, only at Wendy's.
Going back green with 15 to go here at Richmond. Morris, DeLello, Neal, Onjak, Irving Allison, Austin Murray, Brady Burkhart all stay out. Jefferson, Goforth, Bowers, Lane, Reed, Evan Hunter, Joseph Strigley, Carter Friesen, Max Anderson come in. Austin Johnson stays out. Riley Spurley-Tube is the driver that received the free pass due to pretty much everyone else in front of him being in that accident. So now, 15 to go. Does Jefferson's pit call cost him a win? It might, but we're going back racing. Morris leads him down. Green flags back in the air at Richmond. Onjak's not going to wait around. Jefferson is not going to wait around, but neither is Cody Goforth, who throws it 3 wide on him. Now, Goforth pushing up into him, almost could have hooked all 3 of them as Jefferson gets shoved up the track and out of there. Goforth wants to win this race as he's going 3 wide now with Neal and Irving Allison. Are the tires going to make the difference? They might. I didn't realize how good fresher tires that these guys would have, because these guys pit around lap 55. These guys have 40 lap older tires than the guys that are running right now, and Goforth moved Jefferson out of the way, is going to take that top spot of fresh tires. Now here comes Bowers, Lane, Reed, and Jefferson lost this race as Bowers is going to take the spot away from Goforth. Can Carson Bowers go to victory lane? He's up to 4th, still with a long way to go. Anderson, Reed, Joseph Strigley moving up, Jefferson back there. And now Austin Murray gets turned by Max Anderson here in front of the field. Please do not hit the pit wall, everyone. They all make it through, but Aiden Smith's going to get turned. Caution is back out. And now this shakes up everything even more again as cautions breed cautions. That was aggressive between Goforth, Jefferson, and Bowers. Bowers, I guess, is going to lose the spot to DeLello. He is 4th, so Bowers moved up to 4th on that. Goforth 5th. These guys ain't going to pit. They're sticking with their strategy. And now we're looking at something amazing. So, Matty Porter's 30-30 is the first one laps down, but it's the first driver 1 lap down. And it looks like that's going to go to Matthew Eves. No one's going to come in, so we'll try to get us back racing as soon as we can. Morris, Onjak, DeLello, your top 3 over fresh tires on Bowers and Goforth. Second incident of the day, Austin Murray in the 24 fighting with Max Anderson right here, and Anderson straight up just going to dump him down into turn number 3, dives straight into the side, puts that 24 in the wall. We're under caution once again here at Richmond. Coming back around, we're going to have about 7 laps to go to get this. Morris out in front, Onjak second, DeLello third. These three are on old tires, about 40 laps older, or 30 laps older than Bowers and Goforth in 4th and 5th. Colton Lane in 6th, also on those fresh ones. I believe Anderson Reed 7th is. Irving Allison, Joseph Strigley, Dusty Neal, your top 10. Jefferson's back to 12th. It's going to be a miracle for him to be able to win this, but we're coming down. Taking the green flag once again here at Richmond. We're back racing. Morris and Onjak lead us down. Green flag's back in the air. Bowers, Goforth, Lane already getting aggressive back there as Onjak and Morris stay single file. But Bowers already into 3rd. But here comes Colton Lane now on the inside. If he can clear him with help from Anderson Reed behind, Bowers going to try to throw the door. Closes the door on the 60. Takes that spot. So now he's the first driver with fresh tires. Back in the back, they're all spread out. A lot of damaged cars working their way around here. Now Bowers has to work his way past his boss, Peter Onjak, and try to set his sights on the 55. Does the 25 have the tires to go win this thing? Does he have the time to go win this thing as Onjak is all over the front of him? Onjak now up the track, can't keep it in there, trying to go as fast as he can on those old tires. Carson Bowers up to 2nd. Colton Lane 4th. That could be your race for the win. Anderson Reed is up here as well. Jefferson trying everything he can to pick up as many spots as he can, but here comes Carson Bowers looking for the lead on Morris with just 4 to go. This time by goes to the outside. Now can Colton Lane jump to the bottom and get by him? As Bowers really sent it in. Here comes Lane, and if they continue fighting, can the 55 pull away enough to win this race? Bowers carries the momentum on the top. Now Lane's going to tuck in behind him. Reed all over the back of Colton Lane as they go. Onjak falling back and fast. Bowers trying everything he can to get around this 55, trying any line he can. Here comes Reed in the 3. Does he have the momentum to go up here and win this thing? We just said he's never won on a track shorter than a mile, and he's trying to do it as Morris on the old tires is trying to hang on up front. 2 laps to go. Can he do it? If they keep fighting, he can, but now Reed is all over the back of that 55. Can Anderson Reed go 2 in a row for Monster? Now Bowers going to mount that momentum again. Can he get there? 2 laps to go. Your time is running out. If we get a caution, though, it's a green-white checkered. That's another 2 laps. The field staying clean as Reed goes wide. These guys on fresh tires are going to lose to the old tires because they just can't get around them. Coming around to the white flag. The 55 is out in front looking for his 2nd win on the season. Can he do it? White flag is in the air. Reed's fallen way too far back. I think it's too little too late for Reed. He sends it in, but I don't think he can get there. Down the back straightaway, the 55 is going to play the strategy right. Reed's going to try to mount something coming off the corner. Not going to get there. Morris is going to steal one at Richmond. I cannot believe it. They squabbled too much for 2nd and couldn't get around the 55. And staying out gives Morris the race victory. What a strategy play by BGM. And maybe that makes up for last week. Absolutely killing him on pit road every single time, costing him valuable track position. Morris is going to be the first driver to, or the 2nd driver to 2 wins this season. And that gives Toyota now 4 out of the 6 race victories, and the only tracks that Toyota has not won on were the road courses, with Foster and Porta taking them. So Toyota has all 4 oval races won this season. What a finish to that one. It was a wide open race for the most part, and then right at the end they just end up throwing it away. The guys on fresh tires, Bowers just kept going to the outside trying to get around him. I guess he didn't want to hit the 55. Reed just lost all time there in the final 2 laps. Couldn't get him. So Morris takes home the victory. Onjak hangs on to a 5th place finish. Irving Allison recovers a 7th. Friesen, after an early incident, comes home 8th. Jay Jefferson, 9th. Not what he wanted to see. And Zachary DeLello, another top 10 there. Strigley just misses the top 10 in 11th. Evan Hunter, 13th, is a great run there. And Burkhart, the last of the full-time drivers, he had some damage. He ends up in 20th or 19th. So Toyota on their way to dominating this season. Toyota's only won with 2 drivers. That's the 55 and 19 on all 4 ovals. Meanwhile, it's Dodge and Chevy at the road courses. We head out to PA, Pittsburgh, PA, as a matter of fact, for the Steelback event next week for the Mountain Dew Custom Series and Sundrop Cup Series. A good race weekend of racing action. Some of the same teams winning once again, though, with TSR and BGM taking home the wins this weekend in the Truck and Cup race, respectively. But Morris comes home for his 2nd win on the season. Steelback will be different for this, but we'll have to see what it's like at the next short track on the schedule at Steelback. Thank you guys so much for tuning in all season long. Hopefully you will continue. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time on the NSDCA.